This map tracks 24 hours of emergency dispatches across London on July 29, 2026. Dispatchers answered 1,300 distinct calls. As data isolates the borough of Havering, the concentration becomes extreme. 47 separate grass fires erupted in this single geographic zone in one afternoon. The largest of these broke out near Acer Avenue in Rainham. A rapidly moving blaze consumed 4 hectares of dry grassland in a matter of minutes. Containing a fire of that size required a massive logistical operation. 15 fire engines and 100 firefighters deployed directly to the scene to establish control. The threat extended well beyond the flames. Dense smoke plumes forced local residents to seal their doors and windows, while motorists navigating the nearby A12 were instructed to shut off their air conditioning vents to block the intake of toxic air. The borough's parks and transit corridors were converted into active environmental and respiratory hazard zones for East London communities. To fight these grass fires, crews rely on specialized manual tactics. A firefighter forcefully swings a wildfire beater, a long-handled tool with a flat rubber pad, down onto the burning brush. The physical strike temporarily deprives the flames of oxygen, cooling the ground enough to stop the spread. When the terrain gets too rough for standard engines, the brigade brings in terrain support vehicles. These off-road units hold nearly 500 liters of water and can pump continuously while driving, allowing crews to carve wet fire breaks directly through the brush. But the sheer volume of these fires has prompted action beyond the fire brigade. Havering Council and the Metropolitan Police have launched a joint investigation into their origins. Authorities strongly suspect that several of these rapid outbreaks, particularly those sweeping through Romford and the Ingrebourne Valley, were deliberately ignited by arsonists. The combination of extreme drought and suspected criminal activity strains London's emergency resources, drawing crews away from structural fires and medical emergencies to manage large-scale deployments across the borough. In Rainham, however, a chronic hazard makes the area uniquely susceptible to these disasters. Locals call it the Rainham Volcano, a contaminated former landfill site on Launders Lane. This diagram shows a cross-section of the landfill site. Deep beneath the soil, pockets of unregulated, trapped toxic gases build up intense heat. During peak summer temperatures, that trapped gas can breach the surface and spontaneously ignite. For the surrounding community, this means summers defined by pervasive ash and toxic fumes seeping into bedrooms. The basic ability to breathe clean air in their own gardens is entirely lost. The residents of Rainham have begun calling themselves the forgotten people of London. For them, the Acer Avenue fire is a symptom of a systemic, decades-long failure to safely manage this land. The physical destruction from July 29th is vast. Across Havering, over 20 acres of vital wildlife habitats and public parklands were reduced to scorched earth in a matter of hours. The severity of the crisis prompted a drastic public warning from Mayor Sadat Khan. He directed Londoners to physically clear 2 to 3 meter fire breaks around their own properties to slow any approaching flames. Local leaders are demanding permanent intervention. MP Margaret Moline is pushing to officially declare a public health emergency, and has called for a full public inquiry into the ongoing disaster at Launders Lane. Until those systemic land management failures are addressed, the dry grass of East London remains a constant hazard. Regular, large-scale deployments are now required to prevent these blazes from reaching residential borders. This is a developing emergency. For updates on arson investigations, the local emergency response, and the public inquiry,